So we continue with the Gay-Lussac law. So we studied in the earlier part that the Gay-Lussac law was related to the volumes of the gases when they react, so they do so in a simple whole number ratio with each other and with the products so formed, provided the temperature and pressure conditions remain constant. So now we move on to page number 85 of your Virab Dalal chemistry textbook, wherein they have given the additional problems based on the Gay-Lussac's law. So Lussac's law, there are 8 questions over here on page number 85. If you are having some older editions, then you can just check up where exactly they are located. But there are Lussac's law के ऊपर 8 questions are there in this particular textbook. So we see the first question. Nitrogen reacts with hydrogen to give ammonia. So now, since you are not given any equation, we need to write the equation first. So you are given over here that nitrogen, that is N2, reacts with H2 to give you ammonia, that is NH3. To balance this thing, we will require this to be as 3 over here. So this becomes 2 and this, yeah. So the ratio will be 1:3:2. In room temperature, all of them are gases, so none of them are going to be cancelled. Calculate the volume of ammonia formed when nitrogen reacts with 6 liters of hydrogen. All volumes are measured in STP. So here you are given that instead of this thing, we are using 6 liters. So this is what you are given, that you are given hydrogen required is 6 liters. So we'll take this over here as let x is equals to 3, therefore, sorry, x is equals to 6, therefore 3x is equals to 6, therefore x is equals to 2. Therefore nitrogen N2 required is equals to 2x, sorry, just x is equals to 2 liters, and NH3 formed is equals to 2x is equals to 4 liters. So a very easy question. We have just asked what is the volume of the ammonia formed. So calculate the volume of ammonia formed. So the volume of ammonia formed is 4 liters. Very easy question. Question number 2. 250 cc of oxygen was burned with 600 cc of ethane. Calculate the volume of unused oxygen and volume of carbon dioxide so formed. So first of all, we need to write the reaction as C2H6 plus O2 gives me CO2 plus H2O, right? Now C2, so let's try it with 2 over here. This will give me O as 4, 5, 5. So this will not be 5. So this needs to be 3 out here. That will give me as 3 and 7. So it will be 3.5. करना पड़ेगा, इसको 7 करना पड़ेगा, इसको 2 करना पड़ेगा, इसको 4 करना पड़ेगा, इसको 6 करना पड़ेगा. तो just check up 4C, H is 12, 14O, so 8 plus 6 is 14. Yeah, perfect, right? So the ratios in which they are going to react will be 2:7:4. This will being liquid, we will not consider this thing. They are given that 2500 cc of oxygen is reacting with 600 cc of ethane. So here we know that this is 600 cc. So automatically this cannot be taken as x. This will take it as x. So x is equals to 600 and cc. Therefore x is equals to 300 cc. Therefore O2 required is equals to 7x is equals to 7 into 300 is equals to 2100 cc. And therefore O2 unused is equals to 2500 minus 2100 is equals to 400 cc. CO2 formed is equals to 4x is equals to 4 into 300 is equals to 1200 cc. So that's the answer, that the O2 which will be unused will be 400 cc and the CO2 which will be unused or which will be formed will be 1200. You can see the whole thing was based on this balancing. The balancing 274 made the all difference. Now of course I cannot take as 7x is equal to 25. See what I was given, that this is 2500 cc and this was 600 cc. Firstly, I already am given that O2 is going to be unused. What is the O2 unused पूछा है, तो obviously है कि ये पूरा का पूरा use नहीं होने वाला है. अगर ये पूरा use नहीं होता तो 7x cannot be 2500. Automatically I need to take the x का value as 2x. 2x is 600. Okay. Whatever are the quantity of the substances given to you, you will need to consider that 2x is equal to that quantity, or 7x is equal to that quantity, or 4x is equal to that quantity according to the question which is given to you. Okay, as we do more sum, you will get more clear and clear about this thing, but it's a very easy topic, very easy to understand. Okay, but and very important because pura stoichiometry is 10 marks of the complete board paper. The next is question number 3. 20 ml each of oxygen, hydrogen and 10 ml of carbon monoxide are exploded in an enclosure. So here we are having two equations. So we are having two substances and two equations because they are going to be reacting in two different manners. So we are given the first one as H2 plus O2 giving me H2O and CO plus O2 giving me CO2. Balancing this thing will be 2 and 2 over here and 2 and 2 over here. So the ratio 2:1:2, but this I will not consider because it is going to be water, and this I'll consider 2:1:2. So now in this case 20 ml of oxygen and hydrogen are 20 ml of oxygen and hydrogen. So here we know that this is 20 ml and carbon monoxide is 10 ml. They are exploded together. Find what will be the volume and composition of the mixture of the gases when they are cooled to room temperature. That's why we didn't take water. So we see over here, we need to find out what is the oxygen required and what is the oxygen required over here. We know that the total amount of oxygen what we have is 20 ml. So it is O2 is equals to 20 ml is what we have it. So of course if the total of this and this is more than 20 ml, then we have to see something else. But normally it doesn't happen that way. So we know that 2x is equals to 20 ml. Therefore x is equals to 10 ml. Therefore O2 reused or required is equals to 10 ml. Here 2x is equals to, or we'll take it as y, so because we cannot use the same multiplication factor in both the cases. So 2y is equals to 10 ml. Therefore y is equals to 5 ml. Therefore O2 required is equals to 5 ml. So CO2 formed is equals to 2y is equals to 10 ml. So now we talk about the result. So result O2 unused is equals to 20 minus, this is 10 plus 515 is equals to 5 ml, and CO2 formed is equals to totally 10 ml. So the resultant will be 5 ml of O2 and 10 ml of CO2 produced. We move on to the sum number 4. Are we clear with these things? Right? We move ahead. We go to sum number 4. 224 centimeter cube of ammonia undergoes catalytic oxidation in presence of Pt to give you nitric oxide and water vapor. So ammonia with oxygen, it is NH3 plus O2. So I'll just write it smaller. NH3 plus O2 giving me NO, nitric oxide, plus water. Okay. Now we need to balance this thing. So balancing it, so it will be 4, 5, 4, 6. This I know because you are going to have this reaction in ammonia chapter. You have the reaction in the ammonia chapter. So 4n, 12 plus 10, 22. So, 1 minute, there's some problem. NH3, sorry. Okay, 4 and then there's 12. So this is 12 and this is 10. So 4 plus 16, yeah. So this is the catalytic oxidation of ammonia. They are given over here, so the ratio over here we got, so this is of course going to be cooled down, so that is not going to be taken into consideration. This is liquid. We are taking the ratio as 4:5:4, and they are given that ammonia taken was 224 cc, whereas you need to find out that oxygen what is required and the nitric oxide, all the volumes are, so calculate the volume of oxygen required for the reaction. Only oxygen is required, so we don't require anything on this part. So we know that 4x is equals to 224, so x is equals to 224 upon 4, that will be equal to 56 cc. Therefore O2 required will be equal to 5x is equals to 5 into 56. 5, 6 are 30, 25, 28. So 280 cc will be the answer. You don't require to do anything for the NO because they are not asked you. Why should we do it if we are not asked us? We move on to the next one, and that is question number 5. Acetylene C2H2 is burned in oil forming carbon dioxide and water. So we again have the reaction C2H2 plus O2 giving me CO2 plus H2O. So C2, so let's try with 2 over here, H2 is done, O2 is now 4, 5, so this 2.5, so it will be 5, then 2, then 4 and 2. So C4, H4 and 5, 10, so 8, 9, 10, yeah. Okay, so automatically we are given that it is going to be like this. We need to find the calculate the volume of air required to completely burn 50 centimeter, assuming air is 20%. So they are given that this ratio is 2:5:4. We are not connected to carbon dioxide at all, but they are given us that the amount of acetylene used is 50 centimeter cube. So 50 centimeter cube is acetylene. So we know that 2x is equals to 50 centimeter cube. Therefore, x is equals to 25 centimeter cube. Therefore, O2 required is equals to 5x is equals to 5 into 25 is equals to 125 centimeter cube. As such, this is the answer, but remember what is asked. They are given that calculate the volume of air required. So it's not oxygen, we talk about air, and they say that 20% of the air is oxygen. So that means 20% of the air which is required is 125. So it is this way that air required, let air required is equals to x. Therefore 20% of x is equals to 125. So 20 upon 100 into x is equals to 125. X is equals to 125 into 100 upon 20. That's going to give you 625 cc of air will be utilized. So the amount of air which will be used up, or the amount of volume of air required to completely burn this acetylene, will be 625 cc of air. That was sum number 5. Now we move on to sum number 6. Okay, sum number 6. On igniting acetylene and oxygen, 200 centimeter of carbon dioxide is collected STP. Calculate the volume of acetylene and O2 at STP required for the original mixture. So again, the reaction is the same. So we just copy down the reaction. 2C2H5H2 plus 5O2 gives me 4CO2 plus 2H2O. The ratio is 2:5:4. Now here it is given that this part, that CO2 what is going to be achieved is 200 centimeter cube. So it is given that CO2 formed is equals to 200 centimeter cube. Therefore 4x is equals to 200, x is equals to 50 centimeter cube. Therefore acetylene required is equals to 2x is equals to 2 into 50 is equals to 100 centimeter cube, and oxygen O2 required is equals to 5x is equals to 5 into 50 is equals to 250 centimeter cube. That's the answer, that the acetylene which will be used up or required will be 100 centimeter cube, and the oxygen which will be required will be equal to 250 centimeter cube. Okay, that's the answer for question number 6. Okay, now we move on to question number 7. Ammonia is formed from the reactants nitrogen and hydrogen in presence of a catalyst under suitable conditions. So that's the simple reaction. N2 plus H2 giving me NH3. So 2, 3, this is the reaction. So it is 1:3:2 is the reacting ratios. Assuming all volumes to be measured in liters at STP, calculate the volume of ammonia formed if only 10% conversion takes place. Okay, so we consider that only 10% conversion takes place. That means over here that whatever I am going to take over here, only whatever the 2 what I am going to get will be only 10% of the volumes of this one. Okay, so assuming all value, calculate the volume of ammonia formed. You need to, okay, what is the ammonia formed as well? Okay, so that means you can see over here that if I take 1 liter of this and 3 liters of this, okay, so let N2 is equals to 1 liter and H2 is equals to 3 liters. Therefore ammonia formed is equals to 10% of 2 liters. So that is going to be 0.2. That is nothing but 10 upon 100. That is, see why is it so? Because if we would have given you 100% result, then if this is 1 liter, this is 3 liters, this will be 2 liters. But no, what do they say? They said that the conversion was only 10%. That means if I take this 1 liter and this I take 3 liters, I don't get 2 liters, but I get only 10% of 2 liters. That is 10 upon 100 into 2. That is going to give me as 0.2 liters. So that's why the amount. So what is the question? The question is that calculate the volume of ammonia formed. So the ammonia formed will be 0.2 liters or just or 20% of N2 and H2 mixture. Because I don't know whether it is 1 liter or 3 liters or 2 liters. So this is basically, if it is 1 liter each, 1 liter and 3 liter each, then it would be 0.2 liters, or it could be 20% or 1/5 of the total volume of N2 and H2 mixture what we are taking. Okay, so yeah, quite vague kind of question, but yeah, sometimes such questions could be very important, especially when they are asked in prelims. Right, so this was sum number 7. Now we move on to sum number 8. 100 centimeters cc each of water gas and oxygen are ignited and the resultant mixture of gases cooled to room temperature. Calculate the composition of the resultant mixture. So we know that water gas is nothing but CO plus H2, and plus you are taking H2O plus O2, and the resultant mixture is going to be as CO2 plus H2O, CO plus H2 plus O2, giving me water gas and oxygen ignited and resultant mixture of so it will be giving you CO2 plus H2O, CO2 plus H2, everything is balanced, CC, O3, O3 and H2H. Yeah, it's already balanced. So we are given that 100 centimeter cube of this. So this is equal to 100. So this is one part, this is 100 cc. So the ratio over here is 1:1:1:1. We will not take water because it is cooled down to room temperature. So water is liquid. So calculate the composition of the resultant mixture. So we know that if you are taking this thing and you are taking how much amount of oxygen and oxygen. अच्छा each है दोनों, ये भी 100 है. Yeah, that's right. So not a problem at all. Both are 100 set 1:1 ratio है. So you can see that water gas used is equal to 100 cc, O2 used is equal to 100 cc, and CO2 formed is equal to 100 cc. So resultant will be one sec. 100 cc each of water gas and O2 are ignited and the resultant mixture. Oh, sorry. This is, when it is this way, you cannot take it as combined thing. This is 1:1. So over here, this is equal to 100 cc. Therefore, what will happen is this was 100 cc. So over here, water gas used was 100 cc. Therefore, O2 used. Therefore, 2x is equal to 100 cc. So x is equal to 50 cc. Now, why is it so? This 1:1 is equal to 2. This is 1 and this is 1. This combined thing is 2. So this is 2. 2:1:1. Okay. So that's why 2x is equal to 100. So x is equal to 50. Therefore, O2 used is equal to 50 cc and O2 unused is equal to 50 cc. Okay. And CO2 form is also 50 cc. Okay. So the composition of the resultant will be this two: O2 unused 50 cc and CO2 formed 50 cc. So this was about the additional problems which were there for Losex's law in the exercise, right? So we'll stop over here and we'll continue with the next part of the stoichiometry in the next video.